raise them at our next sitting today so that we get some guidance. We want to be able to move without baggage. When we take care of this baggage, it becomes easy to deal with the business that we have got to take care of, right, Honourable Speaker. We have just come out of an election. And regardless who you ask, by the way, whether it be me or colleagues on this side, whether it be colleagues on this end, whether it be bystanders, there are issues that are of critical concern that we need to address as a country. I'm hoping colleagues have taken time to read reports, observer reports, because the Electoral Commission did accredit observers to observe our elections. And they released reports. Please take time to read them. When you read the African Union Observer Report, Interreligious Council of Uganda, and so on, and they raise critical issues, which I believe this parliament has got to interest itself in. Issues to do with the credibility of our election, issues to do with brutality before, during, and after the election. By the way, for information to colleagues, the election is not just an event. It's a process. Campaigns are part of the election. And how they are conducted, how candidates are treated or otherwise, that's part of the election itself. And it feeds into the credibility issues that we are raising. So the brutality, people killed, candidates ill-treated, and so on, critical concerns that have got to be addressed by this parliament. People are still abducted. Right, Honourable Speaker, on the eve of the election, colleague leaders in my political party, one, our deputy president in charge of Western Uganda, Jolie Jacqueline Tukamushaba, a lady who is well known to you, was abducted. To date, her whereabouts are not known. The Honorable Lina Zedriga, our deputy president in charge of Northern Region, was abducted on election eve. To date, her whereabouts are not known. A gentleman called John Mary Sebof, who is a councillor, and several others. You see the challenge about these issues. We keep raising them, and some colleagues say, but you are pestering us. Yes, we shall pester using this platform that we have. It is unacceptable that people get abducted and their whereabouts are not known for one day, for a week, come into 2 weeks. Why can't people be produced in court? Government needs to help us understand. I'm not above the law. No one is. I can be suspected to have committed an offense. But what does the law say? Arrest me vis-a-vis the law, produce me in a court of law. But when you hold me somewhere, family cannot access me, lawyers cannot access me. What do you want us to do? What do you want people to do? And when we complain about these issues, some people think we are being too much. Perhaps until it happens to you. And it has happened to colleagues, by the way, across the aisle. So these are critical issues. First, detach the political affiliation and whatever you think is the reason for this person's arrest. But can the law prevail? And these concerns have got to be addressed, right, Honourable Speaker. Hundreds of people arrested, polling agents, people held in police cells for more than the 48 hours that are allowable within the law. That is not proper. And when we raise these issues, let's address them as people's representatives. Forget that I am NUP or NRM, because it can happen to any of us. These foundational principles have got to be respected and fought for by all of us in this room, right, Honourable Speaker. Right, Honourable Speaker, I saw and I see the good doctor, Minister of Information, is here with us. My party leader, after the election, his house was raided, the Honorable Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert, who is an OB of this house. He managed to sneak away. I kept seeing the military, I kept seeing the Minister of Information here saying no one is after him. But as they were saying that, the military was continuously descending on his home, raided it, broke into it, beat up his wife and family members. And the following day, the minister and other dignitaries were saying, no one is after this man. I said, look, just like I have made it succinctly clear, no one is above the law. If there is an offense that the Honorable Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert is suspected of having committed, whether it be running for president, some people think it is an offense that you can challenge the Bush war general, and so it's an offense. Whatever offense it is, why don't summons get to be issued to him? So that then he's able to show up and is charged. Honourable Speaker, yesterday, his siblings tried to access his home. After the minister again said, no, all is well, people can access. His siblings went there yesterday. And police officers, several of them deployed there, they said, we don't have authority to allow anybody to access this place. I want to know, is it official that the Honorable Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert is under house arrest? And for that matter, people cannot access his family. And for that matter, it should continue this way. Because why are you not summoning him if there's a particular offense that he has committed? And again, Honorable Speaker, let's forget that this is the leader of the NUP, which you might not like. That's okay. But this is a Ugandan. This is a leader for all intents and purposes. Why is the law operating this way? And Honorable Speaker, the good minister here has got experience with the law being absquatulated. He suffered a similar fate when he was abducted. He was taken away for days on end. His family members were looking for him. Colleagues in this house spoke out on the Hansard, by the way. They said, where is Honorable Chris Baryomunsi? Government, where have you taken him and all the others? People fought for you. Yes. Until eventually, government, due to the pressure exerted by members here and elsewhere, they produced the gentleman in court. But we were saying, why were you hiding him wherever and treating him the way they were? Right, Honorable Speaker.
Conclude, LOP.
The final issue which I think this House has got to be addressed on. We were here a few months ago. Government came to us with a supplementary budget, as they normally do. And we are going to have several others. I normally tell the Minister of Finance, why don't you plan properly? When you keep bringing here supplementary budgets for obvious things, it is quixotic. Anyhow, they brought a supplementary and said we need to purchase these machines. I and the Hansard can really, bear me witness. I said, look, we want to purchase these machines expensively at this point in time. What has changed? In the last election, we used these machines. They failed to function. The census came around. The machines failed to function. And now government was telling us, here is the panacea to vote rigging. And it was interesting that government was conceding that they preside over a government that allows vote rigging and all of these different things. And they said, now we have a solution so that votes will not be rigged by government officials, because government is the one in charge anyway. These machines, when you see how much we spent on them, it was nearly 400 billion shillings. Part of that was to purchase the machines. Part of that was to train operators. The other was to hire people who were going to operate them. The other billions were to integrate features on the ballot paper so that when you scan it with the machine, it functions. All of that came at a cost. But alas, on election day, the machines failed to work. And we said, wait a minute, how come they have been functional? Honorable Speaker, we were here in the conference hall. The Electoral Commission officials came very excited and they presented to members of Parliament. Some of you were there. And the machines functioned. And members were happy. Of course, others were sad, saying, so if this thing functions properly, will I survive? I saw those concerns from members. But we were saying technology is a good thing in this day and era. But we go to election day and the machines fail to operate. By 11, by midday, people were not voting. And the Electoral Commission issued a statement and said, okay, let's go back to the register. I said, what happened? We need an answer because we spent billions of taxpayers' money. Is it that fake machines were procured? That means somebody has got to be held responsible. Is it that good functional machines were procured? However, they were frustrated from working. We need to know. The interesting thing, Right Honorable Speaker, 2 days ago, we were voting for the last batch of local government leaders. I saw the machines were functional. So I asked, what miracle has happened? That the machines which failed to work at presidential and parliamentary, district chairpersons, lord mayors, and so on, now when we are doing the last leg, the final one, the machines functioned. Government needs to bring us up to speed. What happened? Because a loss was occasioned for the first elections. So all of a sudden they began to function. Was the problem fixed? Did we purchase new ones? Or did we say maybe for these particular elections, these last local government elections, there is no problem. The machines can work. There is not much interest. We want to know because I get the feeling that the machines were conveniently defective.
LOP.
As I wrap up, Right Honorable Speaker, And I thank you for being patient with me because these issues are critical.